Joining me now from Fairfax in Virginia is Mary Ellen O'Toole, a former senior psychological profiler for the FBI and now the Director of Forensic Sciences at George Mason University. Thank you very much for joining us. So, from the information that has come out so far, is it starting to point towards a likely motivation?
Well, information is still necessary to really refine what would be the final motivation. But I can tell you this, in a crime like this, like other very complex crimes, there's never a single motive, and motives can change over time. So we have to be very careful about looking at it, and it's just a horrible event, but it is possible that this individual had decided to take his own life, and that his intent did not include taking the lives of the other 149 people. And some people listening to this may say, well, that's certainly splitting hairs. All those people died. I get that. But if you're asking for the motivation, you have to look at what did he intend to do. And some people, if, for example, he is very depressed, some people who are very depressed can become extremely selfish in their outlook on life. And if injury or harm occurs to other people while they're in the course of committing suicide, they consider that collateral damage. I'm not saying that's the case now, but once we identify really what his intent was, I think it would be easier to explain what happened here.
So key motivation in that case would be somebody feeling suicidal, but that will offer little comfort really to the relatives of victims.
It will offer absolutely no comfort at all. And as I say, it's like splitting hairs. What was in his head at this point doesn't really matter to people that are watching it. It will to the prosecutors, it will to the airline industry, and it will to mental health. So, I say that with great caution because I understand the enormity of the situation.
And Andreas Lubitz clearly went to great lengths to try to hide his condition from friends or families. Are there things that people might have picked up in someone's behavior if they were becoming suicidal?
There are, and what happens oftentimes is that people are very good at hiding a mental health issue. So they can show a little bit to their mom, a little bit to their dad, maybe something to their friends, but those pieces all have to come together. And also, if we love somebody, we have incredible ways of saying, oh, Andreas is just having a bad day, or he'll feel better, he just had a fight with his girlfriend, or things aren't going really well. So not only do we have to identify the behavior, we have to piece it together, and then we can't explain it away to try to normalize it.
And what will the authorities be doing now? We've seen that they've been looking through belongings in his house, for example. What sort of clues are they looking for as to his mental state?
What they'll be looking for are for example, things he said to people that are close to him. They'll be looking for changes in his behavior 24, 36, 48 hours out. They'll be looking to see if he became more withdrawn than normal. They'll be looking to see if he's engaged in atypical reckless behavior. They'll be looking to see if he's had an increase in any kind of substance abuse. They'll be looking for any notes in his computers or in his phone to indicate that he's had it. I'm done with this. My lifetime dream is over. Those kinds of phrases and those kinds of ideations will be important to understand where he was. But again, it's important that it's within a short period of time before the plane crashed. If they find something from 2 months ago, a lot can happen in 2 months, and people can feel a lot better. So it's really time-sensitive information that becomes important.
And is there anything we can learn from this to do with other people in those jobs to try and avoid it happening again?
Yes, it's a lot of the ways that people are evaluated for mental health issues is self-reported information. Despite what you heard about testing and evaluations, we rely very heavily on self-reported information. How do you feel today? How's it going? And people who understand that their livelihood could be impacted by what they say can really put forth a very positive persona and say, hey, I'm fine. Everything's great, and that's just an act. So my concern is with that self-reported information that generally comes about if you're following some kind of informal, brief, checklist kind of an interview. It really takes time to sit down with somebody and pull away at those efforts to come across as happy-go-lucky. You really have to sit down and really dig deep into what's going on with them. And to me, that's one of the the weaknesses of our mental health system throughout the world is the self-reported information and these short interviews.